And we'll
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
hello.
Four, three, two, one.
Hello. How are you all doing out there?
Hello.
Welcome to yet another Flyer Magazine live stream thingy on Facebook and YouTube. So, what have we got for you tonight? Well, first off, shortly we're going to go to Simon Keeling, who's going to tell us all about the weather this weekend. We're running the weather first because Simon's got to change into a pumpkin or something later. And after he's done that, we're going to move on to a little bit about YouTube. I don't know if you were aware, last few days there was something called the Aviation Content Creator Awards, which seemed to comprise of all of the US aviation YouTubers getting together in a bar and grill, I think somewhere in Texas, for 3 days of let's call it hero worship or something of those influencers or whatever they're called. So they're probably all at home with, hopefully they're not all at home with sniffly throats and dry cold and stuff like that.
No.
But anyway, then we got a bit of news. Got some excellent news. And if you've ever heard of the RV Grin, tonight you will see the RV Grin, big time. A whole load of other bits and pieces of news, and various stuff, just stuff. So I'm gonna bring in that Simon Keeling chap. There you go. Hello, Simon.
Evening all. How are we?
We're good, thank you. And you're going to tell us all that the weather's amazing this weekend, aren't you?
If only. No, you didn't pay enough in, I'm afraid.
Oh, man.
Well, we're going to get at least a day's worth of flying in. Saturday's the one to avoid. Sunday looks a much better day. On Saturday, we've got fronts passing their way eastwards, bringing some cloud, bringing some outbreaks of rain with them through the day. Cross-channel conditions don't look particularly great on Saturday either. We've got low cloud bases between about 500 and 1,000 feet. And elsewhere, as I say, with the fronts moving eastwards, we're going to find outbreaks of rain. There's going to be some embedded Q, nim along those fronts as well. Although things probably improve Western Scotland, Western Wales, and through Ireland later on. So Saturday's a bit of a washout. Sunday looks better for flying, though. Still got a westerly flow, still going to get some showers. Most of the showers are going to be towards the west, where some of them are probably going to be heavy, and there's a low chance of some Q-nims bringing a little bit of thunder, perhaps on western coasts during Sunday afternoon. But as you head eastwards, far less showers around. Typical base is about 3,000 feet, tops about 12 to 15,000 feet. A briskish westerly wind, probably blowing at around 15 to 18 knots overall for most of us across the UK. But generally, a good day on Sunday, good visibility, and I think you'll be able to fly around the showers as well. So I think if you're planning flying this weekend, Sunday is the one to go for.
Okay, and how about, have you got any tips for tomorrow afternoon? We're a few of us thinking of heading up towards that Northamptonshire type place.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon's not bad, actually. We've got a ridge of high pressure over us for tomorrow afternoon, and I think cloud base is 4,000 to 5,000 feet, tops at about 8,000 feet. It's well broken. There'll be good visibility. Just a low chance, perhaps, of an isolated shower around the Northamptonshire area tomorrow afternoon, but it's only going to be very light. And the winds tomorrow, light. I think surface winds probably about a 260 at around 10 knots. 2,000 or 3,000 feet, about 290 at around 12 to 15 knots. So tomorrow looks like being a good day as well. You've chosen
That's all right. As we didn't pay you enough for your for better weather this weekend, would you like to plug that small subtle logo you've got on your T-shirt?
What, do you like it? Do you notice then?
Yeah, I couldn't spot it. Is that your merch?
If you want to learn more about the weather, and Ian and everybody, you know what Weather School's all about. Have a look at weatherschool.co.uk. I run courses online, and actually, we're looking at reintroducing the face-to-face courses in September. So
Amazing.
go and have a look. Weatherschool.co.uk. All the information you need about the courses on there. Build your confidence in your own ability to make forecasts yourself. What about that?
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Simon. We'll see you hopefully next week.
Thanks all. Yeah, absolutely. Have a good evening. Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Let me remove Simon. There you go. So that was the weather, and looks like we're all set for tomorrow afternoon, which is good. So those of you that didn't realise, and frankly I didn't realise, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, I think it was, there was the Aviation Content Creators Awards in Texas, and I've been Googling for the last hour. My Google skills have kind of left me, unfortunately, to see who won and what all the various different categories and stuff were, so I could talk about that. But I couldn't find it. What I did see was a certain Mike Patey, who had a huge number of flying reporter. I didn't get no, we didn't get an invite either, but
No.
Mike Patey seemed to have won an awful lot of stuff. So we thought we'd have a little jaunt through some of the aviation stuff some of the aviation YouTubers here. I don't know how many here. Is everyone Mike Patey here? Let's have a look, see if we can get this to work.
Everyone must know Mike Patey.
Everyone must know Mike Patey. Whoa, not like that.
Uh-oh.
There you go. As someone said, it's like watching your dad operate the internet, and they're not wrong. That wasn't my daughter say. Anyway, here's that old Mike Patey chap. No, here's that Mike Patey.
I'll play with this forever. Set up everything. But what we got real quick, let me show you how my gust lock system works. There's 2 pins. One.
It's okay, Mike. I don't really want to know how your gust lock system works.
I've got to ask, because Mike Patey connected his gust lock to the millions of screens in his panel, because it looked like that's where that was going.
I know, I do. It's a pin or something, and you can't. So there's also a gust lock at the back of it as well, and you can't actually start the thing. Hey, Andy Kennedy, you are my hero. I was going to say, I have to say, the stuff that Mike Patey's been doing on Scrappy has just been bloody amazing, and it's just an outrageously impressive build, and a fantastic kind of amount of work. And then he came out with that panel. I mean, that was like a 1980s Amstrad hi-fi deck with all the flashing lights and stuff like that. It was grim.
To be fair, Garmin kit is great, but there's a point at which you go, no, just 2 screens is enough. Clearly, Mike's like, no, I can make more space and put more screens in, probably to the point that no one can buy G3X for the next 3 months.
There's going to be a G3X in the back of his seat, so that whoever's riding in the back has got something to play with, apparently.
As if they can't look round him and see that it's not like how bright is the sun, it's like how much light is coming off Mike Patey's panel.
It's amazing. I mean, seriously impressive builder, huge amounts of energy. Ridiculous amount of energy, but
Andy Kennedy has summed it up. He said 2 alternators at least.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think there's still some kind of surprises, isn't there, coming? I don't know what they are, but in terms of that build, I think we've got a lot to look forward to. Who else? Anyone know this guy? Jonas Marshenko. Let me play this. Watch this carefully. This is probably his 3rd landing in his new airplane with new bush wheels. See what you think. Looking good. Oh, that's looking a bit wet.
That looks very wet. Oh my gosh.
I wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, well,
I have to say that's a new name on me, so I'll have to go and check him out, but it looks terrifying.
So for those of you who don't know Jonas had a Kit Fox. He's just sold the Kit Fox, and he's done a whole load of stuff. And he was actually a filmmaking drone flyer and started his company before Trent Palmer. And now does a whole load of stuff flying around with his fiancée Sylvia. And I think Sylvia's probably the reason for a large part of his YouTube success. And he has a kind of he has a different approach to things than Mike Patey, shall we say. It's kind of a slightly more down on the farm approach. They are great videos, but I have to say that last one, which came out last week, probably scared me more than any video I've seen on YouTube, really. So lastly, in terms of things that I've got to show you anyway, it's a little bit more of your dad operating Facebook here. Facebook? What am I talking about?
Internet.
How to ride the one way. So that's the goal today. I'm Trent Palmer.
So-
I fly drones for a living and bush planes for fun. Follow along as I journey off the beaten path with aviation.
I have to say, I think for me, Trent Palmer's one of my favourite. He is very good.
I think Trent's stuff is like super cinematic, really, really well produced, really nicely edited, done really, really well. So come on, peeps out there in YouTube / Facebook land, who are your favourites?
Yes, tell us in the comments. And I see it
tonight. Who have we got?
I see in the comments. Actually, we've got a whole bunch of brilliant British aviation YouTubers.
We have. So we got looking in order here. We got, without scrolling upwards, we got John the Flying Reporter.
Who is almost he's kind of one of the originals and best.
And plain old Ben up there. Hello, Ben. Hello, Ben. Hello, John. Hope you're all well.
If you've never seen, there's a really good video of plain old Ben and the Flying Reporter. That's like one of their first collaborations, and it's almost like Aviation Morecambe and Wise. That's worth seeking out.
Maybe you could send me Ben Learning to Fly. Is that Ben Atkinson or is there a different?
Ben Learning to Fly is Ben Atkinson, who I've spotted he's in the comments too, and he's a really great YouTuber. He
is, absolutely. Yeah. Trent seems to have all the parts on it. Yeah, no, that's very true. There was earlier in that no, forget that one, Frank. Thanks. earlier in that Jonas Marcinko video, he started it for the first time and the exhaust fell off. So it was like, whoa! And of course, two donkeys as well. Indeed. Who else have we got over in the US? We got Elliot Seguin with Wasabi Air Racing. That's quite good. That's quite. I mean, it's
Elliot is the very tech end of very intense videos. But if you're into your flight testing and all the detail, then he makes some fantastic material.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not without its awesome and yoo-hoo type stuff that you get in America.
Yeah, Melanie Moxon points out that Steve Thorne Flight Chops is really good, and I'd agree with that. He's great. Yeah,
no, that's true. I'd never heard of Matt Guthmiller. Yeah, he's good as well. Stevie Wonkanevo. Oh, Rory on air. Who's the name of the guy who does the TBM stuff? That's Stevie Wonkanevo, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And then there was. Did you see that thing recently where there's Premier Pilot?
Is that the guy who flies the jet?
Yeah, he flies a jet, and then he landed at an airfield. He cleared the airfield, and he called runway vacated before he'd gone over the line, even though it was an uncontrolled airfield for someone else in the circuit. And one of the people watching YouTube basically reported him to the FAA, and there was a whole video about him getting reported. Yeah, Paul Bertorelli, of course. Who's Paul Bertorelli?
Don't say that. But you know full well who Paul Bertorelli is, and Paul is like the don of everyone, isn't he? Of internet video making for aviation. It's like you can't be. He's so dry. He's almost like an unofficial Englishman.
Yeah, no, it's true. He's a good chap. We're actually pretty bloody spoiled by some great aviation content, aren't we? And
there's some good videos around at the moment.
Yeah. There are some great videos around at the moment. Yeah. No, good news. So who else have we got? Elliot Seguin, we've done. Plain Old Ben. We've got Ben Atkinson, John the Flying Reporters here. Well done, everyone. And a whole bunch of other people I'm going to have to check out later. Some of whom I've never heard of. So I'm looking forward to.
It's worth going through the comments and taking a look at a few of those because there's some good suggestions.
Absolutely is. Yeah.
Yep.
So, where are we? I think we've rounded up on YouTube posts, and those of you may have noticed we're gradually putting our toe very, very gently in the water to see if we can figure out how to make a few YouTube videos. I don't think we're anywhere near the level of our Brit YouTube counterparts here or the US ones.
No.
But you've got to start somewhere, and shame on you. And yeah, well, let's give it a go and see where we end up. You never know. You never know.
I have to say, I thought your going to the 2K video was good.
It was
albeit very fast, because I know you hate waiting around.
Yeah, well, I mean, perfect video's got to be like 30 seconds long, hasn't it?
Well, it's you make them for your attention span, don't you?
Yeah, I got bored. I got bored by my own one.
You're really on form tonight, Ed. Why is that? Why is that? What's happened to Angel?
What's happened? Maybe it's something to do with the fact that I got so moving on to our next thing in the news, the Big Grin. I know
the Big Grin
I managed. If anyone who caught the last issue of the mag, you'll see that I had a revalidation to do to get back flying, and I was motivated to do that because during lockdown, while browsing A4s, I bought the aeroplane behind me, which is one of the UK's few RV3Bs. And so I got revalidated on Tuesday, which was fantastic. Big shout to Phil Matthews up at Cotswold Aero Club, who sorted that out for me. And it was really great flying with Phil. And I came back, flew the Vagabond at Garston Farm. And next day woke up and it was a gorgeous day. And I thought, right, that's it. Need to go and fly that RV3. So I got that out the hangar and took it slowly and methodically. But yeah, it's been great. And it's been a while since it arrived here, and I've kind of polished it lovingly. And but getting in the air has been fantastic. It's everything I really anticipated it would be. And it's the awful lockdown haircut. Well, lockdown no haircut. RV Grin. Should have. There was a couple before that where it looked like there was a hamster trying to attack me on my head.
We do have a private video that we made of Ed's long hair, but he's threatened to resign if we play it. So
if you show it, yeah.
So,
which airfield is this? If you're asking about the photo where the RV3 was taken, that was Garston Farm, which is a really fantastic strip in Wiltshire. So it's a place where I operate from. So that was my first landing into with the RV3. But yeah, Paul, I did polish it. It was polished afterwards. It was well washed. So.
Ed, I think you ought to mention about cleaning the rivets.
Oh, and then you're not going to make me tell that story. I thought I told you that in confidence. So, well, the guy who owned the aeroplane before me owned it for probably about 12, 13 years, and it was based at Netherthorpe, and he was absolutely renowned for the fact that every time he flew it, he would lovingly wash it, lovingly polish it, and when it arrived here, it was absolutely gorgeous, perfect. But there was little bits of wax around all the rivets, and because I'm funny like that, I've been round it with a toothpick, and I thought I could share this with Dave without Dave giving it away. But there's probably out of 15,000 rivets, I've been around the aeroplane with toothpicks and worn a whole lot of them out, just picking all the wax out from the rivets. But it looks really good now. So.
How many rivets did you say there were? 15,000 or something?
50,000. Chris Cooper, I hope you bounced. He said, no, I'm happy to say I didn't bounce. I think I was just lucky.
Chris, what's a bounce? I don't understand. Does anyone know what that means? I'm going to wish I hadn't said that next time I land.
Yeah.
Where are we going now? Oh yeah, that's just a short story. I went flying yesterday. Apart from popping to Henstridge for some stuff, I went to Biggin Hill. I had to go to Biggin Hill, which was an interesting experience. 54 quid it cost me to land at Biggin Hill. And
did you buy Biggin Hill while you were there? Did they sell it to you?
I felt like I was buying it while I was there. I have to say, at this point in time, I should make it clear that the Biggin controllers and everyone on the ground at Biggin were absolutely fantastic. I have no complaints about them whatsoever. I think I do fly a training aircraft.
Very mean.
I also fly a 180, which I can bounce as well.
And that is truly terrifying.
Yeah, 54 quid. You're right, 54 quid. But I had to go there, and frankly, it was. So I needed to do a couple of things yesterday. I needed to go to Henstridge. I needed to go to Biggin Hill. It's 290-mile round trip in the car, which is just no fun at all. And it was 1 hour and 40. So the Biggin staff are amazing. The people who wrote the software for the PPR, because you have to log onto a web page, sign up, get an account, register for an account, register for PPR, and then you get 2 emails back, one saying it's pending and one saying it's confirmed. The software is actually really good. It's a really simple system to use, and you can use it. It's really good on the mobile as well. It's just a bit of a pain in the arse. I mean, why do you actually have to? So annoying. Have to bloody. Anyway, I'll. The other thing that I flew through Farnborough a couple of ways. They were mighty busy. The PPR does work well. It's just a shame you actually need it. Farnborough were really busy, and the amount of gliders there were yesterday was just mad. Well, in a good way, I suppose, as long as you don't run into one.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about my flying. That's the RV3 is. Look at that! Look at that grin. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it?
Move on.
Okay. Everyone got their fill of the grin. There you go. Where do we go? Let me click on there so I can do that.
No.
Oh, there you go. That was me.
Yeah.
54 quid's worth. I did get a free can of Diet Coke though. So
I did. I hear you got something else free of charge that you love.
I got a yellow. I was about to walk out, and the chap in ops kind of said, "Please do me a favour and wear this yellow jacket on the apron." And funnily enough, I didn't have a yellow jacket on me, so I now have a Biggin Hill London Executive something Aviation yellow jacket. How much is Galway going to cost me, by the way? Just anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about this.
Nice.
Garmin's G3X Touch, EASA approved.
That's great news.
Yes.
It is. Amazing, isn't it? So now hundreds and hundreds of aircraft are on the Garmin AML in EASA land. So you can get your Garmin glass for an EASA certified aircraft, and I think prices for the kit start. I can't remember. The big screen is $9,000, and the other one is $7,000, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, you can't buy one because Mike Patey's got them all. But
yeah, no. Flying Reporter, is that your panel? No, that's an AA5. That's my panel. You can't really see it very well.
Ian wishes he has G3X. He's got 2 G5s, and it's very nice. But
yeah. Biscuits. Yeah, are there biscuits in Galway? Excellent. I'll go for the biscuits.
That's a reason to go alone, I think.
It is. So So I mean, apart from Mike Patey having all the Garmin glass in the world, what did you say, Dave? Are we going to do a Luscombe? Yeah, I think Dave's going to do a Luscombe with 2 twin 10-inch screens. Is that right, Dave?
Well, Clear of Cloud and myself exchanged tweets earlier this week.
Yes.
About putting a G3X Touch in a Luscombe. I said, can we make it look a bit more retro? But probably not.
Well, that would surely be a good case for the round gauge Garmin's, I guess.
It would, except I think if you you'd like a moving map, wouldn't you? And
That's true.
I don't think the moving map really works well on those small round gauges.
No. I think a G3X Touch in a Luscombe would be great. That would be fun.
Yeah.
All the purists would go mad, but
it would be worth it just for that, wouldn't it?
It would be worth it for that. Yeah.
What else have we got for news going on then? I don't think we got a picture of this. In fact, I know we haven't got a picture of this. There's a new RV14 engine.
Yeah, so announced as part of Vans Aircraft's news during Oshkosh, or the virtual Air Venture. They've announced that their RV14, which did have the 210 horsepower IO 390, there's now a version of the 390, which is it's a special experimental version they've worked with Lycoming to produce, and it's 215 horsepower, so 5 extra horsepower. I think it's somewhere in the realm of 10 pounds lighter as well. And that comes with an all-new cowl, all-new bottom cowl, and a whole bunch of little bit of tweaks. So that's it's a very much breathed on RV14 option. So So there's some info on the van's website just popped up today. So
We just lost Ian.
what?
We
How can
just
we
lost
lose?
Ian.
Oh no. He
Right.
said you can almost guarantee that he's probably been fiddling. Oh no, here he comes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
No.
going to have to. I think this is the instance now where we have to fill.
We do, yes. We can't actually alter the screen, can we?
No.
Because Ian's got control of that. Oh, he's
Oh,
back.
he's back. There we go. Oh, now he's gone. Someone has taken Ian's internet.
Right.
Um,
Well, okay. Well, we'll have to fill. So let's talk
Phil.
about the next item on the news.
what was the next item? Was Pipistrel and Green Motion. You know a bit more about that, don't you?
Yes, that's Green Motion. It's not when you eat too much cabbage. It's it's a company in Switzerland that has specialised in the electric vehicle charging for the past few years. It was right.
I'm back.
He's
So
back.
Green Motion is a company in Switzerland that specialises in electric vehicle charging, and they've got together with Pipistrel.
Yeah, you said it.
They've got together with Pipistrel to roll out basically charging an infrastructure of charging things for electric aircraft, and they're going to do things like standardise the connections and standardise the charging. And at the moment, there's 2 airports that have got it, and they hope to plan it to run it right across Europe.
So if they're standardising the connections, are they going to be USB-C?
No, I think it has to be a bit meatier than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. On other electric news, there's a British company called EAG, or Electric Aircraft Group. What did we come back there for? And anyway, the virtual Farnborough International that was held this week, they announced a hybrid electric 70-seat airliner that they're developing.
I think we have a picture of this.
Do we?
There's a photo here somewhere.
There is a photo.
There is.
There we
you
go.
go.
That's it. Yes. So it's typically weird, as you can tell, because it's a British design, and they've gone for the weird tail. They've gone for the high wing. I think that's and the very British colour scheme. Anyway, they reckon they're going to have the first one flying by 2028, which would be a miracle. So moving on for the news, there's a bit about airspace and infringements. Solar Radar has returned to set operating hours, and apparently during lockdown they've been running weird hours, odd hours, just notified by NOTAM. And not surprisingly, given the complexity of the airspace, that's caught out quite a few pilots who didn't know that the airspace was active. So they've returned to set operating hours, normal operating hours. Elsewhere, Blackbush is the subject of the latest narrative by the Airspace Safety Institute. They talk about what you need to do to avoid infringing Blackbush, which is in a particularly difficult bit of airspace next to Heathrow and also next to Farnborough.
Those little things that they put together are really good. They're worth checking out, aren't they?
They are. You can find a link on the Flyer website, but there's also, if you Google airspace safety, then you go straight to their website. Last item to mention is that Cambridge Airport has had a number of infringements, mainly because their frequency changed earlier this year, but the latest chart still has the old frequency. So if you go anywhere near Cambridge Airport, please use the new frequency 120.965.
So those ASI things on the for the infringements, I bet they don't start by saying we're having to write this because we approved or someone approved such an appalling piece of airspace design around Farnborough so that it confuses everyone in the entire world. Did they? Does it mention that?
Probably not.
No, it doesn't say that. No. It does make a record. They do acknowledge the fact that the airspace is difficult for pilots. They do recommend that you use a moving map because that should help you keep away from the airspace. Last item on the news, seeing as time's ticking away, is that the all-party parliamentary group for general aviation, I've been practicing that one, they've proposed that there should be a register for historic aircraft just as there is a register for historic ships. And if you've looked at the historic ships website, which I did today, it's a very good thing. So
Sorry.
we can't take you anywhere.
no.
Historic
Please,
ship website.
not even on the internet. No.
I have to say this this APPG historic aircraft register thing. You go, APPG, haven't you got some better things to be doing? But
Well, it's one of their elements of the their whole remit is historic aircraft.
yeah,
So it doesn't seem a bad thing to do. They're they're at pains to point out they don't want any more bureaucracy to affect people with historic aircraft. This is not about that at all. So moving on quickly because time's ticking away. Some events this summer have been falling like flies. And earlier this week, I even found out that the Scrumpy and Cheese fly-in at Western Zoyland has been cancelled. But there are a few events that are on. There's Welshpool, otherwise known as Mid Wales Airport. They're opening its cafe this weekend. At Compton Abbas, there's the PA28 60th birthday. That's this weekend. And they're also returning their Vintage Saturdays. That'll start on the 1st of August. Perth Airport.
Hiring instructors.
They're hiring instructors as well. They have got a shortage of instructors there. Perth Airport is holding a barbecue and flying this weekend. No, this weekend. Sorry, on the 1st of August. And the Sunday Lundy. Now, you two are going there, apparently.
Yep.
yes,
That's the plan.
In the 180.
Absolutely.
yes. I'll close my eyes. It'll be fine.
It will be fun.
You're hoping to fly back as well.
I might take the ferry.
You should bring the RV3.
No. It'll be like and bring a dustpan so I can kind of sweep up the bits afterwards.
No, it'll be. I've landed there before in the 182. We could take the 182, but I think the 180 is probably better suited, to be honest.
Yeah. So
it'll be a nice trip. Nice trip in the 180.
Yep. So anyone going to Lundy, we'll see you there.
We'll see you there. I'm not sure what the deal is going to be with like food and stuff. Whether you'll be able to get the lamb burgers or not, but guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Phil Newson says, "Do record the landing." I'll make sure we do that, Phil.
We'll be camered up, as they
Yes.
say.
Yeah, it's like some cheeky so-and-so said there. Nick Allen, he's suggesting instead of a G3X Touch, we should have moving parchment.
I saw that moving parchment for the Luscombe.
Yes.
That would be a bit modern.
Well, I think there was a long time ago. There was a moving map which was two rollers, wasn't it, and a bit of moving paper between it.
Well,
it was probably a Jefferson thing.
John Farley, rest in peace, had a kneeboard, and on his kneeboard he was writing notes for his flight test cards and stuff like that. That you could roll through, and you could roll. That was quite impressive.
That's John all over, though, isn't it?
That was John, very very impressive person indeed.
Yeah.
Good. Right. Where are we? I think we are
done.
Not yet. What? We're nearly done. I think everyone just needs to see for one more time.
No.
The RV Grin.
We're done with the RV Grin.
Look at that. That's bloody amazing, isn't it? That is what aviation does for you.
It's true, actually. It was good to get back in the air. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's it for tonight. We're at 2 minutes over. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Dave. Thanks for the grin. We might see some people in Northampton tomorrow. Otherwise, we might see some people in Lundy. Otherwise, we'll be back next Thursday. So, quickly, if you're looking at this, don't forget to subscribe, send some comments on YouTube, all that stuff. Give us a like, etc., etc., etc. Thank you. And thanks, everyone, for joining in. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Fantastic. See you guys. Bye.